Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I am joined here by my co-host, producer, and best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzak. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm good, man.
It's another Freaky Friday episode, so happy October, everybody. And you already know when we're on the same side of the table, it's a motherfucking guest episode. So we are joined by our hilarious guest, our podcast family, Mr. Billy Willig. How you doing, bro?
What up? I can smell the jack-o'-lantern now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Take the top off.
That is the greater evil of between.
I like it, though.
Yeah. No, it's nice that you made a jack-o'-lantern for the show.
I did, dude. I was doing it, and I had I had my daughter on my chest, and then I got to the part where I was going to start cutting, and I was like, all right, let me go put you down.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to do was cut her.
Dude.
What were you doing?
Hey, man, you'll never...
I done it before.
What?
Have you done the toenails or fingernails yet?
No.
Get the rotating.
That's what...
Dremel.
I haven't done it. Christina's done it, but she has
Wait, you got to Dremel your baby?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have like a rotating file that you...
I had the little baby clippers, and I got her with them one time,
way.
and I felt physically ill, dude. Like, it was bad.
She screamed?
Yeah.
Oh,
And she started bleeding a little.
oh, no. I would freak, dude. I think I'd panic.
I clipped her, dude.
I would fucking
builds
panic.
character. Also, Keegan, remember, if you accidentally cut one of these babies, you can never misplace them now.
Well, actually, no. Emma has a port wine stain, so she has a birthmark, they think. But I don't know. They say that goes away. I was like, we can't be relying on
Yeah.
that and it go away.
My daughter
Yeah.
has one.
Really?
It's on her face. It looks like a little music note.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't want it to go away, but
Yeah,
No.
having a
It might.
music note on your face.
That's so cool.
yeah.
That rules.
You have a music. You must have a very musical baby then.
She does like music. She can say guitar. She says it's just like
How old is she?
14 months.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I'm ready for them to start talking. They coo back and forth at each other. And then when
Really?
one starts crying, the other one starts crying. Even if they're in separate rooms, they cry at the same time. You're like, what the fuck
Damn.
is this about?
In sync.
Yeah. We had to divide and conquer today. So Christina went to Target and she took one and I kept one. Because I was like, I can handle one. But two is a
Yeah.
lot. So she took
I
one and
can't
I
even
kept
handle one, man. I don't know how you're doing it.
Dude, two is outrageous. Because when they get upset, they upset the other one.
Right.
So like in the middle of the night, you have to get up real quick before a tantrum starts.
So how? Oh, before it turns into a category 5.
Yeah, dude, now it's a tornado of tantrums. Now I got two. So immediately it's like when you hear it, we'll just be laying in bed and you'll hear, and you're like, get her out of here. You're
Yeah.
running out like you got a grenade. Just
How many times are they waking up at night?
a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
Every 2
Christina's
hours?
still pumping. So she's up
Right.
every 3 hours anyway. Her tits are like rocks.
She's
Yeah.
pumping iron, dude.
Yeah,
she's
she's-
in there. She's in the garage lifting.
She's trying to make sure that she can still dominate.
Have you
these girls.
tasted of the elixir yet?
Yeah. Definitely.
Dude, I miss it every day.
Dude. I wasn't like drinking a glass of it.
Well,
She's got it in a pitcher that has like a little thing that like
yeah. The Dr.
frosts
Brown's.
it up
yeah,
for
yeah.
you. I thought about it, dude. I was making a latte at 3 a.m. I was like,
I was putting it in.
wonder.
I was putting it in my coffee every morning, and my wife was like, "Don't do that because
Dude, you can't do that.
yeah,
What-
well, just
how
a
much-
drop, like not a lot."
A drop turned into 2 drops.
But then if she was like super engorged but didn't want to pump, then I would have to like,
you go to the faucet.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, get on there. You
That
give the
was-
little. Yeah, you gotta clear the ducts.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
this might be the grossest thing we've ever talked about.
What? That's not
It's gross until you do it, and then you're like, "Oh, this is the best."
Yeah, you're like, this is this might become a fetish. You know, like very quickly. It's like Aaron Odom has that joke about peeing on somebody in the shower. He's like, oh, this is gonna turn into a thing, dude.
Oh, man.
I could see that definitely getting breast milk in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like udder play.
I miss it, dude.
Oof.
Especially if you're like a little hungry, but you don't want to make a snack.
No, I don't. Or if you're sick,
Just a little
if you're
sip.
sicky, because they have
When I was sick, she would let me like gurgle it.
You're
and
supposed to
take
because
shots.
it has its what is that? I don't know. It's like antiviral.
Colostrum
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, we had to take them to the doctor the other day and make sure they weren't Forrest Gump babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to have to get them special
Did
shoes.
they have to get their
Yeah.
vaccines yet? Or
Not
no,
yet,
it's too
not
early.
yet, not
That's
yet.
the worst, dude.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to
Like
it. Yeah,
your
they had
initial, like.
I had to call my friend that was a nurse. I was like, yo, give me there's a lot of words on these papers.
Like the primitive like reaction though after they give your baby a shot is you want to punch the nurse in the face who just like
I can
hurt your
imagine.
baby.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah, you can't buck on the nurse.
yeah, but you want to.
I mean,
like,
you
your
could.
body
You
immediately
could.
wants to. It's like don't touch my baby.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I mean, but here's the thing. Anytime people like to throw around nurses as heroes, but I know nurses as the monsters that I see at comedy shows, which is drunk problems mostly.
Yeah.
Those are like low level nurses usually though.
We went to like a hippie doctor's office the
Yeah.
other day. We walked in and it was to get the ultrasound on their hips. But you know those lights that people put on the ceiling that like kind of look like the ocean and you have the little green dots all in it?
Yeah.
We walked in, they had that going, and they had the Twinkle Twinkle Little Rock Star. Have you ever seen that? It's every song you could ever imagine. They have a lullaby version of it.
Okay.
But yeah, we walked in there and I was
Wow.
like, whoa, what the fuck is going on in here? And the lady was like, we like to keep it calm vibes. I was like, all right, lady.
Man, yeah.
How much
Man,
have you smoked today?
Yeah, that, I mean,
They had a warm towel.
I feel like an
dude, this-
old lady nurse is the best kind of nurse.
did the kids like
She
the
knows what's
crazy
up.
lights?
Uh-huh. They
Yeah.
immediately were just checking them out. And I was like, damn, this lady's on
'Cause your kids are still so young, dude.
I know.
It goes by so fast. Everybody says that, but it really does, man. It just flew by. I was trying to keep a journal
Mm-hmm.
when she was first born, and then life got busy. But I wish I need to like pick it up and just not worry about how long it's been since I
Mhm.
last did it, but keep going.
I had a
with it.
buddy that did her email. He made his
Ah,
daughter
yeah.
an email address, and he would send her pictures and stuff, and just like, well, I guess when she's 18, he's gonna just give her the email address. I thought it'd be hilarious if it was something stupid, like some dumbass email handle.
Bro, there's going to be so much spam in that email.
But I say right because you
right,
think you're gonna remember all these amazing things that they do, but you really do lose it after a
Yeah.
time. Time just eats away, man.
Well, and you only have so much bandwidth. You know
It's
what
about
I mean?
to be 5 years since the pandemic started. Isn't that a
That's
weird
crazy.
concept?
Yeah, 5 years since people were wiping off their groceries with rubbing alcohol and shit.
Bro, that
For me, it feels like 5 years since starting over, essentially,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in live performance.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of sucks because I'm like, oh, have I done anything since then?
Yeah, true. I mean,
We're
the
trying-
Zoom comedy depressed the fuck out of
Dude,
me. When I
Zoom-
saw people doing that, I was like, this ain't it.
I actually liked it a little. I don't prefer it, but when I tried it, I was like, oh, it's not so bad. It's different. It's very different.
Yeah, I watched somebody bomb on Zoom and was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh boy, that somebody needs to go over to his house.
man, I saw
Knock
one
on the door quick.
Zoom open mic, and that was all I needed to know. Dude, a Zoom
That might as well
open
be a
mic.
Better help waiting room, dude.
Oh my god.
It was kind of a flex though, like since
That would
I've
be a
been-
better place to do comedy, honestly. A virtual BetterHelp waiting
You
room.
just running bits on your better help
Yeah.
therapist. They're like, God damn it, dude.
The Zoom comedy was kind of all right though, because I was flexing on people with my gear just because I've been playing video games and doing
Okay, so you had
podcasts
the
for so
setup.
long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had the boom mic arm like this with the headphones on and my camera set up and like crystal clear.
Yeah.
I was
You're like, what do
flexing
y'all
on-
want the background to be? I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm in a library. Look at me.
Damn, you don't even know how to say the word library.
Library. Okay. My bad.
Library.
Library.
I say library.
I don't know. It's just a funny
Strawberry?
I'm not trying to kill
Strawberry?
the vibe. My bad.
Library.
Library.
Yeah.
You just said it very white trash.
I mean, yeah, dude, I'm trash. I just call it a pocket purse.
No, library is just. I think it is a funny word to mispronounce.
What is a pocket purse?
It was a pocketbook and a
You know?
purse, but when I was a kid, I thought it was pocket purse. So until I was on a date with somebody, and they're like,
Holy
"Why are
shit.
you calling it that?" I was like, dude, I hate my family. Like, nobody said anything. Got me out here in Hinge looking fucking retarded, dude.
Just let you run with it.
But then when you become a parent, your kids start saying like
You're like, how
silly things. Yeah, you're like,
you never think that one day they're going to say it on a fucking date, like 15 years from
Yeah.
now.
Like my daughter came up to me this morning, gave me this, just like handed me this little bunny toy that she had, and went hop. And I was like,
nice.
I hope, you're like, I never want her to stop
Yeah.
calling.
Have you cried a
bunnies
lot?
Hop. Oh, wait, it's so much.
Yeah.
And it gets me at like strange times too. Like I'll be out with like my friends, most of them don't have kids right now. So they won't understand why I'm like,
yeah. You're like, I can't.
so I have to just like walk away and go do something.
Yeah, I was crying watching Outrageous Pumpkins the other day. Just watching somebody carve pumpkins. I was holding both the girls. I was like by myself with them, and I was crying. I was like, I'm so happy this is on. Like, I'm having such a good moment.
Man, the girl influence is hitting you hard.
It hits you.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think you have to embrace it, though. You don't want to be that dad that's like, I'm never going to fucking cry. And just
We've
constantly
been,
battling your
No, you
emotions.
can cry. I'm just talking about the general. Like, I feel like when I first met you, there's no way that you would put on amazing pumpkin carving or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I was
know?
really put it on because I was searching for something with my mother-in-law there, because I was like, what the fuck am I gonna watch? Like we put on Sopranos and it was like him beating the hooker to death. Literally, I put it on. It was on the episode where he beats a hooker to death.
Yep.
And we're just sitting there. We're both feeding a baby, and Ralphie's just beating this girl, and I'm like, yikes, dude, this is bad. Next time I put on The Sopranos, it was the fucking Milfy rape scene. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I've been watching like just a lot of like
So I'm like, let's
podcasts.
put on some fucking Outrageous Pumpkins.
It's a pretty cool show.
Podcasts and anime is always. I like anime. So
What's your favorite anime? Because I'm so behind on anime. I don't know where
my
to start.
favorite? Well, because anime, I think might be some like. It's way easier to get into it when you're a preteen boy, and then you just carry that. You take that into high school, like Star Wars or Call of Duty or whatever.
You're
it
running
is.
down the hallway with your hands behind your back.
Yeah, you take that into adulthood, being a fan. So, growing up, my favorite was Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I still think it holds up,
Yeah.
but there's more accessible ones, maybe.
Yeah, like everybody talks about One Piece. I'm just like, dude, there's no way.
I love One Piece.
But I'm so far behind. I don't have 1,000 episodes.
What you want to do to get into One Piece is read the manga in color.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it online. It's like full colored. There's an official colored, and then there's for the more like recent chapters, there's like fan colors of them, and that's the best way to do it. So you don't have to sit there and watch
Yeah, because they do like recaps, and it's the same kind of thing. I mean, it's
bunch
a
of
lot.
flashbacks.
Yeah, I
and
gotta
stuff.
fucking hear the intro 1,000 times. Yeah, I can't do it. It's like really a lot of bullshit for like 10 minutes of an anime sometimes.
The
Like,
beautiful thing about the internet is that a lot of fans for older manga, they've colored them for other people to enjoy, and that makes reading it a lot. I still read like One Piece in black and white because I read it every week, but the color helps you kind of follow the story. Like,
Yeah, I
like
think
a
I need the
child.
color for
Yeah.
sure. All right, man. So we've been talking about something from the last podcast. So I thought I'd bring in a topic that we've been talking about. We've been talking about worst ways to die. So in one of the episodes on Exit Only, we talked about a dude that went into a hallway at a shopping mall and got stuck and ended up dying in this fucking hallway. And like they never found him for like 3 weeks, just like in a concrete hallway.
one of those like storm halls. Yeah.
And just, I mean, imagine the panic that would set in. But I was looking it up because we were talking about what do we fear, what is the worst ways to die, and then we were talking about buried alive. And then I found one. Have y'all ever heard about Nutty Putty Cave?
I've seen pictures of it in a meme context.
Nutty Putty Cave.
Isn't that terrible? You just become a meme.
Yeah. I'm good. They're fun.
So
I'm gonna guess that my consuming of this story has been more fun than it will be after you tell me the details.
yes, absolutely.
So I'm good with the meme lifestyle.
yeah. So it starts off. I thought this was significant because I feel like you will agree. It starts off with this dude, John Jones, right? He meets up with his family, and it's like a couple days before Thanksgiving, and they're gonna go spelunk into this cave. So right there, you got to tell your family no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn to say fucking no.
Not
his family was better at, like, cave
So he
diving
didn't
than
want to
him.
do it.
Not really. He hadn't been since he was a kid. The
Bro.
dude's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Like,
That's
what
not-
are we doing, dude? Like, you're too big to be crawling
not be
around in caves.
spelunking.
So he goes into this place. Now, this cave, when you see it, it's like a fucking hole. So it's a hypothermal cave, which just means hot water is what made it. So it's like all these little offshoots, and there's all these twists and turns because water is what made it. So that's
So
why
it's-
people go down there, is because it looks cool, but it's like you have to know your body type of which parts you can get through. So there's
Yeah.
all these different. Listen to these.
So it's not
names.
like an easy.
No.
Okay, it's not like you can walk into this cave and
Fuck.
look around.
No, dude. They're talking about
Nah.
you have to like breathe in and military crawl and dude. So these are
Why?
the names.
It's not for humans.
Yeah, right. You're not supposed to be in there. Like, what are you doing? This is a Thanksgiving activity. They went at 8:00 at night. What the fuck are we doing?
They
dude?
wanted to die.
Yeah, they
It's-
were.
I'm not gonna.
Well, that's
besmirch
when
these
the
people's
ground
names.
gnomes come out.
If you
in
did
the
that, you're an
caves.
idiot,
But
or
I'm-
you wanted to
I'm
die.
saying, dude, it sounds to me they had a couple of Thanksgiving brewskis.
Yep,
and somebody
probably.
said, "Let's go down to the old Nutty Putty Cave."
And kill ourselves.
But the thing is, the thing is, dude, if they looked at the
Suicide
cave, there's
pact.
people that got stuck there before. There's like 2-3 different cases of people that got stuck. So it's like you obviously knew that could have been, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so these are some of the places they had like different sections of the cave.
I'm gonna Google it too.
So it's called the Big Slide, the Aorta Slide, the Scout Eater, the Maze, the Big Room, and the Big Slide. And so they go in, right?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so they're going through. So where this, if you
Hold on,
bring
let me
it up
make
on
it
the thing,
bigger.
where the red
Trying to make it
circle
bigger.
is.
The picture itself looks like the devil. Like that. That looks like somebody's drawing of hell.
So
Yeah.
It looks like
they're-
a Dark Souls map.
Yeah. So they're down there hanging out in the Big Slide. So they're down there just
So
like
they're
the
over
whole
here.
family. They got 2 different groups. That's like the easy part to get to.
Bro, the aorta crawl.
Yeah.
Fuck
Not good, dude.
that.
That's what I'm saying. They have one that's called the Scout Eater.
The birth canal.
That's where they want to go. So they're like, yo, we should go to the birth canal. So what happens is they think this is kind of disputed on where exactly they were, but he goes down to what he thinks is the birth canal. Well, the birth canal, you have to get on your hands and knees. You can't turn around. You military crawl. But eventually it opens up. So he's in there and he's just crawling and he's like, oh, I'm in the birth canal. Eventually it's going to open up. So he just keeps going. But actually, he's in an unmanned part that nobody's mapped out. He's just crawling further and further into hell. So as he's going,
good.
he realizes like, oh, I can't turn around. Like, there's no way that I can turn around at this point. So he's like, sees this little like fissure, and he's like, all right, cool. It's like 10 inches, 18 inches. He's like, I'm gonna hop down here, and maybe I can go down a little bit, and then come back up and turn around. So as he goes, bro, he gets stuck, just like face down, legs up at a 7-degree angle. I sent that picture to you on Instagram. So as he gets stuck, because he's going to turn around, the clay around him is, they called it was silly putty. So it was constantly 55 degrees.
It was
it's
mud.
wet. Yeah, and it's like mud, so they're just kind of slide. You have no traction.
So it's just like kind of cold.
Yeah, so it's kind of cold. I think they were saying like almost an hour like crawl down to where they were. So like the air's not good at all. That was when they were trying to do the one I sent you before. That is the diagram of how. So this is the diagram of how he gets stuck into this little hole in the ground.
You're telling me that's Saddam Hussein?
So
Oh,
bro,
hell yeah, Billy.
he gets stuck down here.
I know my memes too.
Yeah. And his buddy's like, oh, shit. Like, his brother's like, sorry that I got you down here to do this. I'm going to go get help. So his brother goes and gets help. So, dude, he's stuck down there for hours. So he doesn't pass out because of the angle that he's at. So his heart is just working like double time. It's trying to pump fluid out of his brain. The whole time they keep crawling back down and talking to him. Well, they get this one rescuer that goes down there and she's like talking to him. And they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And he's like, getting delusional. He starts like asking them why they put him down there, and he's like not thinking right.
But he's in hell then.
Oh yeah, like truly in hell. So
fully
she's telling
entered.
him, we're gonna get you out. We're gonna we got you. Meanwhile, they're like going up to the top, like, dude, he's fucked. Like they were debating on whether or not they were gonna break his legs. He had a pregnant wife. He had a kid and a pregnant wife, and you're like, dude, you went down into a cave with a pregnant wife and a 2-year-old. Like, what are you thinking?
I get it.
At one point, they brought him down like a
I understand
satellite
now.
radio, and this is in the thing. It says, he had conversation with his wife. She was agitated but comforting, and I was like, that's a very
Agitated.
Yeah, that's a very important detail.
Because she's mad that
So
he's.
she was giving him. I told you so.
Fucking idiot.
You're face first in a fucking cave, talking to her on a walkie-talkie.
This guy had to climb all the way 1,000 miles into the earth just to get some peace and quiet.
And then
somebody brought a walkie-talkie.
And then when he got there, somebody connected him through satellite.
We have your wife on the line.
Yeah, we have your wife on the phone. No,
He starts crawling deeper.
He's trying to dig.
Yeah, they said he was oscillating between being perfectly calm and then just freaking the fuck out and like kicking his legs.
Yeah.
So the reason, yes, we've talked about trapped is trapped. You said that earlier, and
Yeah.
it's like this is why this is the worst way to die. So eventually, like 18, 19 hours into this fucking ordeal, they hook him up with pulleys. And they're like, we're going to get you out, dude. So they're pulling him. But as they're pulling him, he's screaming because it hurts like shit. So they have to keep stopping.
Yeah.
So they have pulleys all the way up to where people are on the top, like using the pulleys to pull them up. So they're pulling. And then all of a sudden, because it's that shitty wet clay, they pull him up to where, dude, the guy makes eye contact with him. So he has him all the way out of the hole. They make eye contact. And he's like, why am I upside down? Like, I just want to get out of here. And the dude's like, we got you. And one of the things breaks and hits one of the guys in the face, breaks his jaw, falls all the way back down, wedges further down into the thing and hits his head.
Oh, shit.
And then that's after when he stopped responding. Could you imagine finally after like 20 hours you get pulled out and you see somebody's
like
headlamp
right there.
and they're looking you in the eye like, we got you, dude, and then snap.
See, yeah. First of all, I would never do this because that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But my initial thought right now would be going with the spade, the mini spade, and just start digging.
So what they were
Well, where do you
Everybody
put
just
the
starts
dirt?
digging.
So the other picture, because of the rock and stuff, this was the other picture that I sent you that was part of where they had to do that pulley system. So they couldn't get any tools or anything. And they were trying to do it, and then they like worked on it for like 2 hours, and they're like, bro, we've only moved like a tiny little bit. And
But
he
look
was
at this
200
guy
pounds.
in this thing. A human doesn't even fit in there. Why would you go in that in the first place?
No, dude. And they said what happened is he breathed in and then went down into this hole that was like 10
so his
by 18.
rib cage was, like, around
and then
it?
when he breathed out, he couldn't get out. Like that's part of. And then they were talking about, I would be like, cut my fucking legs off. Like, give me a shot of
my
morphine
God.
and cut my legs off.
Dude.
Get me the fuck out of here.
That would
Honestly.
suck so fucking much, dude.
That is on my travels of the worst way to die. This seems to be the worst because he was awake for so
Pulley
long.
system's a good idea, but what don't you think well, I guess because it's so deep, you can't get enough people in there with like ropes. To
It was
pull.
one person at a time.
One guy, yeah, one person.
And then the
at a
guy,
time.
you got to think about the guy that was there next to him. The carabiner broke off the wall, hit him in the jaw, broke his jaw, and knocked him out. And then he woke up and he was stuck. So they had to get him out.
Oh,
You're like, could you
Yeah.
imagine, dude? It's literally you. And then they never got his body out. They
Obviously,
just fucking.
your best bet is to
Dude.
not do something as stupid as this.
I mean, look at this.
and then
Yeah,
your
show that.
your next best
Jesus.
option is probably call Elon Musk.
yeah,
That is so
yeah.
terrifying. Yeah, I don't. We were talking about it earlier. What is the thrill in that? Like, I get jumping out of a plane. Like, what is the thrill in going through tiny little crevices like a rat?
Yeah,
Bro,
like-
I mean,
you're pretending like you are water.
I am water.
Water made this. I am the water. I
It is
flow through the
truly-
cracks.
Yeah, so I was looking for the worst way to die, and I think this is it.
that I can't
This
imagine
Truly.
because there's nothing you can do.
No, and they said one arm was trapped under him and one was trapped behind him. So he could, like, kick his legs, but that was it. I would hope you
Bro.
would pass out, but it turns out you don't.
Yeah, this guy's just like stupid and reckless. If you have a pregnant wife at home,
That's what
like,
I was
you have
like,
a
dude, there's
whole
no
kid on-
way.
So he's dead,
Christina would let me
or
go.
did they
If
get him
I
out?
Did go, I'd be like, do not call her, dude, until I'm
Yeah.
dead. No, I
No.
don't want to hear it.
No.
Yeah, just go ahead and put
You
some-
guys brought me here. You guys deal with the fallout.
Yeah, you deal with it. She's a pregnant woman, dude.
My wife would crawl her pregnant ass
Yeah.
down the cave to whoop my ass, and then
I'll
leave me
pull his
there.
ass out,
Be like,
yeah.
get out,
Oh my god.
figure it out.
Yeah, pregnant women, it's a different level of like they're hostile. It's a different level of hangry.
Yeah,
Like, it really
they got a lot
is.
going on though.
Yeah, I'd never faulted her for it, but yeah, my brother told me like right off the rip, like don't take it personally. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
And then the first day she was screaming at me, I was like, oh, okay, this is what he's talking about.
I think another weird one is don't shake the baby. Some
Yeah.
you can't understand until
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
wake up every 2 hours.
Oh yeah, and they spit a fucking passy out, and they don't want you just like the
You
audacity.
give them a passy, and then you put them back in the crib. They
Mhm.
act cool. Then they throw it out the crib
Mhm.
and then start crying.
Dude,
it's like,
it-
you did this.
Yeah,
You
and you
called-
have all these like this like list of things you're gonna try to do, but when a baby's screaming and you've had no sleep and it's 3 a.m, it's like you're running out of options.
Yeah.
Quick,
Yeah.
dude. Shaking is always there. Like, it's
I mean-
always on. You're like, no.
It's like, it's like a little no sleep demon crawls in your brain. It's
just
like,
go ahead and
just
shake
shake
it. Maybe it'll shut up. It didn't even want the passy.
But
It
man,
spit the binky out.
because you think like that's such a crazy thing to say. Don't shake the baby.
Yeah.
Like, why would I shake the
Yeah,
baby?
who do you
That's
think I am?
that's awful.
That's a
horrible.
monster. I love this thing,
But when it's screaming at 3 a.m,
Yeah.
bro. And they scream.
you've had 30
loud.
minutes of sleep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. Like, you'll close your eyes and hear them, and you want to cry. Like, as soon as you hear them crying, you want to cry too. Just like, like no.
Yeah, you really gotta tighten it up.
It is. Yeah, you got to be cool with no sleep.
And
That's
there's
number one.
Yeah, there's nothing like you can do to prepare for that. You can't just like have your buddy wake you up every hour.
No,
and a
it's
half.
psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Waco, dude. She might as well be playing dolphin noises from her fucking crib. It's crazy. It's like, dude, this is insane. It made me think one night, I was so tired. I was thinking about, they talked about that, like keeping prisoners up, like with lights and stuff. And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that would wreck you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After like a day or two, you'd start losing your mind.
Yeah.
You start to like your brain starts to hallucinate.
Your
Yeah,
brain becomes the Nutty Putty Cave,
Yeah, dude.
and you're stuck in it.
The weirdest is when you're dreaming like so quick. Like you close your eyes and you're already in a dream. And then somebody's like, are you sleeping? You're like, what the fuck? You're like at work. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. That. So your kids probably sleep a lot though.
Yeah. So they don't do it at the same time. That's the
Ah,
problem.
yeah,
Is we
yeah.
can't. There's
No
no.
peace.
There's no like routine. Dude, I just saw this thing. A buddy sent it through me. A 4-year-old kid came home. I saw this news story, and they had a sticker on their arm. And they like showed their mom. They're like, "This is my sleepy sticker." And the mom's like, "What?"
Oh,
is
I
the
saw that
sleepy
too.
sticker?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Our teacher gives it to us." So the mom's like, "Hold up. I got to do a little sleuthing." So she takes a
Yeah.
picture. She starts sending out texts like, "Yo, ask your kids if they know what this is." Every single kid in the class is like, "Yeah, it's a sleepy sticker." Dude, they Google it. They find out it's like a sleep aid that this teacher was putting on all the kids' arms.
Like a transdermal melatonin.
Holy shit.
It's night time, dude.
I would go ballistic.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I'd show up like John
mean-
Q at that fucking elementary school. That's crazy.
I mean, sorry, that's horrible.
No,
That's
that
not
is
awesome.
that is crazy.
You talking about that movie,
yeah,
John Q? Yeah, that was great movie. I was my
That's
wife
insane.
wanted to watch that movie. I wasn't expecting much, and then it was jokes the whole time. I was like, oh,
Pretty strong. Holds up too.
yeah. I was like, this is
But
great.
yeah, if you're giving your child a sleep aid, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
If you're giving other people's children a sleep aid, like if you're mass drugging children,
Yeah.
that's like a turn your life around, lady.
Yeah. Your kid's like, well, when we go to the playground, we get watched by the Zanny nanny. What? Yeah,
Have you thought about that?
We eat
Like,
a peach.
if something were to happen, you can't do anything about it because then you go to prison or something,
Dude.
and then you're not there for your
Yeah,
kids
and then you're
anymore.
not there. Now I'm just in prison and I'm raising a fucking Harley Quinn, you know? She's
Yeah.
going to be a part of a musical. I don't want that. I don't want that at all, dude. Yeah. It's
She's gonna be
you gotta
singing
tread
into
light.
a diamond microphone at Joe Biden's inauguration.
Dude, what did they get caught doing? You know, like you are so famous, dude. What did you get caught doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I heard
wow.
50 Cent has a documentary coming out called "Did He Do It" about P Diddy.
Dude, I can't wait. That's gonna be because 50 Cent is the ultimate troll.
Yeah.
I mean, the
He's
ultimate
gonna-
troll. To buy the first 10 rows of somebody you don't like's at their concert, to buy out the first 10 rows so that nobody's in the front rows is diabolical.
Bro,
work.
what if 50 Cent gets into politics? Honestly,
I mean,
I don't know where he would stand on any policy, but I like the ring of it.
I don't know. His rap career is kind of like a politician, right? Like
get
yeah.
elected. Or
the
die
first
trying.
album I really love. It's one of my favorites, but then everything after that, I could take it or leave
The one
it.
where he had the glass shatter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
Rich or Die Trying. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite albums. Dr. Dre produced it, I think. And but then everything after that, I couldn't name you one song. Just like a
Yeah.
politician. Like first term was good, and then
Yeah, but it's like he's like a character in pop culture, you know?
We're getting The Rock. That's happening
We're
in
like-
the next 10 years.
Yeah,
I don't
The
know.
he's
Rock
gonna.
is for sure going to be.
I think he could
I
win.
can smell
but
what
I
the
don't
Rock
think
is
he
cooking,
wants
and
it.
it smells political.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
he
my
has this
God.
image though of he's like the nice guy, he's the friendly guy. And when you get into politics, man, you become the devil to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, notice he wasn't on that McMahon documentary.
Yeah,
He was like,
Yeah.
nope. I
That's
ain't
true.
saying shit.
I didn't see that. What is that?
I didn't
on?
watch all of it.
It's on Netflix, I think.
Damn.
It's, yeah.
I watched some of it though. Yeah,
It was that's an interesting documentary, dude.
that's an old school promoter right there. Oh,
Mhm,
you
just cutthroat.
It's almost one of
I
those.
love
just
that
like,
he like wrote into the story. He's like, "Oh, I'm cheating on my wife, but it's just for the." He's like making out with these girls, and he's like, "It's just for the show."
That's
and
an
then it turns out
old
he's just a dog. Like, yeah,
that's
Of
an old
course he
school
is.
guy right there, man. Just that's
for the business,
how many shady promoters have you met in the game? Like,
dude. And
that's
then,
just a
all
shady.
of-
That's
all
just
of
the
them.
best shady promoter there is.
yeah, you listen, and the more you learn about fucking wrestling, it was the Wild Wild West. Like, it really was just fucking insane.
Just
Mhm.
shady promoters, similar to music and comedy, but it's dudes beating the shit out
Yeah,
of each
it
other.
always rains true. I watched a documentary last night about the American Gladiators. Just how fucking crazy that was when it started.
Oh, I haven't even really thought about
Oh my
that.
God,
I bet
dude.
those guys were just ripping blow
Oh
in the
my
back.
God, dude, it's insane. They were doing steroids, like it's crazy. When you go back and what they like show like the first 13, they didn't know what they were doing. They were just letting these people beat the shit out of people on like concrete floors.
They weren't even really like athletes. They were just
No.
dudes,
They-
entertainers,
Dudes.
just like wrestlers, I guess.
Yeah.
But wrestlers, I would consider them at least like
I mean,
stuntmen. They do cool
Yeah,
stunts.
They had a bunch of stuff. They were showing like videos of it, and it's like people were just getting concussed left
Oh,
and
yeah.
right.
I bet.
Like that was before they knew.
Whose idea was that?
That was
you
when
know?
that was fine.
And I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but on the McMahon documentary, he does show his ass when he's like, I don't believe in CTE. Like, basically, like, that's pushing
Well,
shit.
okay, but that's because he has it.
Yeah.
You got to
I'm
give
like,
him a little grace
I know,
there.
you're like, you're the...
He
the-
lost too much of his brain to comprehend it.
CTE's not real. That's just denial right
Yeah.
there that he has it.
I'm like, it's all right, dude. Like, you know, it's not up for debate, bro. We've already showed you the graphs.
Stone Cold presidency, terrifying idea.
Dude, I mean, that's what's
We're
wrong.
going to war if
I
Stone,
watched a lot of that. and I
Stone Cold's going
remember-
to come from the top rope at Russia.
Yeah, he's gonna chug a beer and declare war. I watched a
No.
lot of those clips and I was like, this is what's wrong with me.
I think actually the way it works is that if you're drunk, you can't get CTE. So you gotta. Keep
Oh,
it-
okay.
You gotta
Yeah,
be.
you gotta keep it going, Ric
drunk
Flair
as hell.
style.
Yeah.
I think
that's why
that's
he's
true.
still going.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
why Ric Flair's still kicking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As long as you're blackout drunk, your brain is off. So it's like a power surge It's like when you unplug
okay.
your computer from the wall.
When I met
during
Ric
a
Flair, he
storm.
was exactly what I thought he was going to be like. He like came into our restaurant. They're like, nobody say anything to Ric Flair. Like, we don't want to like cause attention. He came in, drank like 13 Miller like Ultras, fucking came into the kitchen, was wooing, like throwing up to fours. Like, it was causing a scene. We're like, dude, don't worry about us. We might have to kick him out.
Yeah, we don't want to embarrass him, so just
He came
be
in.
cool. Just embarrass himself.
Yeah, he's like, I had dinner with a nice black lady yesterday. They're like, that's Jada Smith. I was like, dude, this guy. Yeah, Ric Flair. I mean, wrestling is just outrageous.
Yeah. I just had my first experience with it, and I don't think I need it in my life as a regular thing.
I mean, when you watch it, they were showing clips of it, and it's like I remember watching Raw is War and all that, and then they show these outrageous clips of like stuff that was happening. You're like, dude, what was I watching? Like, this is outrageous.
Are you starting to understand why I wasn't allowed to watch it as
Absolutely,
a kid?
absolutely.
I wasn't
You're like,
allowed
what
to
the
watch
fuck?
wrestling either. It was too violent. But I had friends who
Crazy.
did, so I
Yeah.
would watch it at their house.
It's crazy that we were allowed. Like when they were showing some of the clips, it's like really some of the stuff. You're like, that's fucking.
Back in
not
the
good.
day, dude, I
For
used
a 10-year-old,
to.
that's not good.
Yeah.
I would bring like a Pokemon, like, or not Pokemon, but whatever, Final Fantasy PlayStation disc to my friend's house, and then get a copy of Grand Theft Auto from him, bring it home in the
Nice.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Case
I did that with an Eminem CD and a Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
And then my mom wanted to listen to Garth Brooks. Fuck, dude.
The weird thing for me was I got into like pop punk music because my brother was in high school. He was dating a girl who liked it, and she would make him all these CDs, and then he would never listen to them. So I would
Who was
just
your favorite?
steal them. Let's see. He had Newfound Glory.
Yep.
She made him gave him a Fallout Boy CD.
I like MXPX.
MXPX, NoFX.
Yeah, for sure.
But really, those were like more punk. So like, this was like a high school girl. My first introduction when I was in like middle school. So it was like Green Day, Blink 182, stuff like that. Yeah.
Hot Topic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
My Chemical Romance.
Oh man.
That's what, dude. When I walked in that doctor's office, they had those lights. I felt like I was in Spencer's. Like, what the fuck? It's just not what you want. It's a jarring atmosphere
Yeah.
for like a medical setting.
You're like, it
Some
feels
of
like
that
there's supposed to be a
stuff-
dildo in this
yeah,
room.
yeah. You're like, dude, is there incense burning in the fucking doctor's office?
Spencer's.
Hey, take this sleepy sticker. Put it on your tongue.
Would you like a novelty beer glass while you're here?
Yeah, you want a penis-shaped lollipop while you wait?
There's actually lingerie in that cabinet
I
behind
gotta take
you.
a piss, and then I'll tell my story.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's pause.
And so you brought a story for us?
Yeah.
Let's get
Well, in honor of Halloween, have you ever done the what we called it was mayhem night when I was in high school,
No.
which is the night before Halloween.
Mm.
You're supposed to go commit felonies. And,
No, I never did this. Have you ever done it?
I was apparently sheltered from this. I've heard about it
Yeah, like-
since, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
I've heard about it like on fucking movies.
I did it a couple times, but not like a lot. But the one time in particular,
You weren't going like full purge.
yeah, I wasn't gonna stab anybody or something
Yeah.
like that. But we went and we got a bunch of eggs.
Nice.
And really, like, the motivation behind it was there was this one kid who we found out was hanging out with my friend's ex-girlfriend or something like that.
Nice. School
And so,
politics. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was just like we were going to go egg this kid's house.
Yeah, because this kid doesn't pay rent at this house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He just
We're gonna go trash his dad's house.
damn.
The crazy thing is, like, we were jealous of this dude for hanging out with all the hot girls and stuff, but it turned out he was gay.
I mean, your gaydar is
And-
not strong back
And
then,
he was
dude.
just
You don't
out,
know.
like, in the closet.
Mhm. Damn.
And so I think we accidentally committed a hate crime.
Ah,
Oh,
it's
fine.
statute of limitations. This is before that.
It's mayhem night,
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
went to.
There's no rules on mayhem night.
We went to like Kroger and we bought like 150 eggs or something like that. Like,
God damn. Dude,
Like all
that's
the
a
eggs they
month's
had.
rent now.
Back when eggs were cheap.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, fuck, what a
yeah,
flex.
it was like $2
When
at
the
the
eggs
time.
flowed like wine. 2005.
And So we went to his house.
Gatling gun.
We all hopped in the back of one truck.
Oh, dude, this.
And then there was another guy who we didn't know that well who wanted to come with us.
That's going to be a problem.
But we were like, you got to drive your own car. So,
Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
well, because,
Absolutely, I get it.
we were all on board.
Yeah,
you know,
I can't
like-
have the ops back here, dude. If you want to be a part of it, you get the tail.
Or maybe he wanted to drive his own car. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But for some reason, he was in his car. And we were all in the back of the truck. So we're driving around the neighborhood. We get to the guy's house. We egg the shit out of his house. And then
From the truck, or did you jump out, egg, and then jump back in?
from the truck,
Ooh,
we were
nice.
launching them
Yeah.
from the bed.
Drive-by.
Yeah. And then we had so many eggs that like we had already caked this dude's house.
Yeah, you're like, we should really only needed like
Yeah.
10.
Went
Yeah.
and had some breakfast.
So then we just started egging the whole
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Oh,
Oh.
everybody's getting it now.
And we just like plastered this whole neighborhood. And then
They call that a suburban mass shooting.
so then this guy comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see him. We're in high school, so the guy driving the truck, the guy who had the truck was like the youngest of us, and it was his idea. But, we were all down for the chaos. But I see the guy come out, and there's a little side street. I'm like, take the side street, dodge this guy,
Yeah.
and let's get out of here. Of course, he's a young guy. It's an old, like, grown man comes out. He stops. I'm like, I'm out of here. So I jump in the other guy's car, and he hits the side street, and we take off. And then my buddy with the truck calls me, and he's like, hey, you got to come back, or this guy's going to call the cops. He said, like, he saw you guys, like, dip out, and you guys need to come back, or he's going to call the cops. So I'm like, okay, well, let's, like, I'm just thinking, I'm a
Wrong
high school
number.
kid. Yeah. I'm thinking, like,
Okay.
what can we do here to get out of this? Like, what are our options? So we're right by our friend's house where we all met up.
Mhm.
I'm like, take me there. We'll hop in my car and go back. So at least it won't be the same car.
Right.
And
That helps.
Yeah.
dumbest idea,
It's not 10
out of
minutes
pure
later.
luck, it worked. Because I come back and the guy's like, that's not the guy. That's not who you were with. That's a totally
Yeah.
different car. He's talking to me. He's like, you weren't, where's the other car that was here? Blah, blah. I could smell the alcohol on his breath. So us coming back in
so
the
you
other
just
car
gaslit an old drunk.
confused him because
Yeah.
he was drunk.
Hell yeah.
And I go, and he's like, you guys are going to clean all of this up or I'm going to call the cops or whatever. I'm like, dude, have you been drinking? I come from a
Yeah.
long line of alcoholics. So I had this dude's number once I could smell Evan Williams on him. I was like, I'm going to confuse the shit out
Yeah.
of this guy. I
That's
was like, have
great.
you been drinking, sir? He's like, well, yeah, I'm at home. I had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, I had a couple. But
I was like, what's going on? Why did you stop these guys again? They were throwing eggs. I don't know anything about that. Like,
Yeah.
and he ended up just letting us leave.
oh, that's awesome.
I think
That's
he like
great.
brought the hose out. My one buddy in the truck started like hosing the car. I was like, let's get out of here. dude.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Leave this drunk asshole.
We just won this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This battle.
Yeah, wake up in the morning and be like, what
Wow.
the fuck did I do with all these eggs?
That went shockingly well.
Yeah, I can't believe the car that worked.
Dude, it just confused him. And he'd been drinking. So in his confused state, he was like, wait, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Bro,
How did I get out here again?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I
am
mean,
doing?
as an adult, put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
You're kind of hammered.
Yeah.
It's you're an old man and none of your family likes you because you were a dick. So
Nobody
and
likes
just
it when you
drinking
get
alone.
drunk. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
once I started putting the "Are you drunk right now?" thing, it was like,
Uh-huh.
oh no.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I think you realize quick when you come outside and you're like, hey, get your friends. It's like you realize, like, what am I going to really do to these
Yeah.
kids? What am I
Am I
going to
gonna-
physically assault these children?
Am I gonna fight 5 high
Yeah,
schoolers?
yeah, and then you start looking around like they might whip my ass. These kids.
They
I'm
probably
like,
would.
yeah.
Like
You're gonna
6
tuck
high
her out
school kids
quick.
would probably
Yeah.
beat my ass.
Oh, absolutely.
They haven't been vaping as long as I have.
No, they're not fucking drunk and like have to piss. Probably have no shoes
I had
on.
to piss when I came out here.
Yeah. Yeah, we never did mayhem night, but we did roll some houses. That was always fun.
Yeah, I did that as well. There was one time.
You ever forked a yard?
Yep.
Forked, yeah.
That's the fucking worst.
That's a little diabolical.
It's
It
pretty
really is.
rude.
Like bologna on the car.
Yeah.
Eggs is
Never did
kind of
that.
diabolical too.
Yeah,
You shouldn't
eggs
do
sucks
eggs.
because it stinks because you're
Yeah.
never going to find all of it.
Yeah.
Never, dude. And you're just open invitation
You better hope
to
it's
every possible,
Yeah,
dude.
you better hope it's
Dude.
raining tomorrow.
Okay, that reminds me of another story. Like, we were on tour. It's not a Halloween story, but we were on tour with a band called Drop the Girl, and they had this thing where they were just like super kleptomaniacs. They went to a movie on one of the off days, and then the movie theater employees had just left all of like the flyer stacks out. There was like thousands of flyers, so they stole all the upcoming movie flyers from the movie theater, and then they just started like placing them everywhere. Like everybody's house we would stay at, they would leave them in the cupboard or under the sink or something.
What the fuck?
We played one show, I think we were in Oklahoma, and we came out and our entire band was covered in movie posters. Like everything from the wheels to the like windshield was covered in.
That's so
The
fun.
sunroof was covered. And it was like that was the theme of the rest of the tour, was you would just be minding your own business, like unloading your gear, open your guitar case, and there's just a movie poster in your guitar case. Like it was like, you're not gonna find them all, trust me.
That's awesome. Do you ever saran wrap a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church youth group.
We had this guy that was older than us in football when I was in like 11th grade, and he was a senior, and I fucking hated this kid. But this kid could have kicked my fucking ass for sure. So like one day we're just sitting up there, we're getting high, and I'm like dropping my friend off, and I look over, and his car was there, and I was like, dude, let's go into Publix and saran wrap this car. And so we're doing it. I'm like, the whole time we're like laughing. I'm like, this is so funny. Like we'll sit right here when he comes back, dude. So we're like inside of a Beef O'Brady's, like watching this kid get dropped off. He lost it. Like I'm talking about punching the car, and like I looked at my buddy like, dude, if you ever tell anybody I did this, like, dude, it was terrifying. We were like sitting in Beef O'Brady's, and he's like slamming his fist on the hood, and I was like, oh my god, he's not taking it good.
He thought somebody was bullying him.
Yeah, dude, lost his mind.
There was one dude
Probably
who
just got done getting his ass beat by his dad.
there's a dude at Swayze's who bought the smart car when it
What the
came out,
fuck?
and he was really excited about the smart car, just like a hipster kind of guy. And so one night we were like drinking Four Locos,
Letting the devil
smoking
out.
cigarettes in the parking lot, like, yeah, just being degenerates.
The devil's
And
a
I did not participate in this because I knew he was going to get mad, but all my friends like lifted his smart car and
Yeah.
moved it.
Because like 5 dudes can lift a smart car. I
It's like
think.
500 pounds or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's so funny.
You get like 6 dudes on it. You can
At
carry
that
it.
age, you can't be excited about anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
got to be excited in silence, dude. You cannot show up there. They smell it in the water, bro. They'll find a way to kill you. You show up with some shoes. They're like, how can we ruin this dude's shoes?
At least around here, man. I do think that's partially like a North Atlanta suburban issue. I know kids are terrible everywhere, but I feel like Cobb County kids are like
It's
especially
Yeah.
ruthless.
it's ruthless. Like it's a tough. You know, you don't want to. I don't know if I want to homeschool the girls,
Yeah.
but I also don't want them going to school and getting LSD from their teacher. You know, a sleepy sticker.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we
dude,
talking about?
Crazy. I would like to homeschool if I can. I just don't know
It
if I'd
just
be any
seems like
good
a
at
lot.
it. Yeah.
It seems like a lot. Yeah, and I'm not smart.
Right.
I
I mean,
don't have.
I was partially homeschooled,
But
and
then again, public school, you know, builds character.
Or a dependency on drugs.
Or does it just give you trauma? That's
I think
That's
it
what I'm
gives you
saying.
trauma.
I mean,
Schools are child prisons.
I wouldn't be a good stand-up comic if I am one. If I didn't go to public school, that's for sure.
yeah.
Because, like you said, you can't have anything.
No.
You got some new shoes that you think are cool. You show up to school, everybody just starts ragging
Bro,
on
a
them.
haircut.
Oh,
I remember my mom.
You can't
fucked
change
my
your
hair up. I
style
was
as
just
a
like,
teenage
dude,
boy.
You fucked me. Like you completely fucked me, dude. Like I look like Lloyd on Dumb and Dumber. They're gonna eat me alive.
I'm
you
ruined.
feel like whatever choice you made at the beginning of the like freshman year or whatever, you're stuck there, even though you're really not. Whatever, you endure some trash talk for a couple days, and then
see, I had an older brother though, so that was kind of my buffer where I just looked at you with dead eyes, and I was like, "You think you can hurt me? You can hurt me worse than he already has, dude."
Yeah, I had an older brother,
Yeah.
and my dad was he had a dark sense of humor too, so he would rip on you for stuff.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I had uncles like that.
Yeah.
That just like, bro, you knew as soon as you saw them, they were gonna, and they'd fuck you up. I'm 36. I still think about some of the shit my Uncle Kenny said.
Yeah, you can watch the wrong TV show around my dad, or you get called a certain word you're not allowed to say.
Dude,
anymore.
I had to play Pokemon in secret.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if my brother caught me playing Pokemon, like people were like, "Oh, I had the cards outright." I'm like, dude, yeah, right. Because my brother was just old enough to where like anything I liked was fucking gay.
Yeah.
Like anything I liked.
Yep.
And then it was like and then you would try to like the shit he liked, and then you go to school and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
You're not playing Pokemon,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
You freaking loser.
Yeah, bro, we're not on that shit. You're like, dude, hey Arnold, whack. My brother just beat it into me. Everything I liked, he hated. I got caught watching Powderpuff Girls.
Oh man,
That was hard to come back from.
Yeah, I think like I just didn't care, if my brother thought it was gay. That was.
It is devastating though when somebody hits you with you're gay, and it's like a really fucking like.
I guess I
you
just
get caught
like-
doing something.
yeah, like and you don't, you get caught, so you're not ready to respond to that.
No.
I honestly get offended when I see those anime stickers on people's cars because I'm like, do you know what I had to fight for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I went through?
Just openly
You're
putting them on your car,
You're
dude.
putting Naruto on the back of your car?
Anime was not cool when I was
You're
a kid.
not allowed.
It was
to like
not
it.
fucking cool.
No,
It was always kids who
it was
walked on
the
their tippy toes,
specific
for
group.
sure.
There was
Always
a
the
specific
tippy
group of
toes.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, always. And
I feel like my generation broke that in high school because at my high school, we started the Yu-Gi-Oh table at
Okay.
lunch, and like we were having so much fun. Eventually, like
I think black
the
people
athletes,
black people
like-
kind of blurred the lines too.
Yeah.
Once black people got into anime, it was like, wait a minute,
Well-
that's the coolest guy in the school.
Yeah.
Like, what?
the Yu-Gi-Oh became competitive because back then there weren't all these like crazy cards and rules and all this dumb stuff you could do. So it got real competitive in the lunchroom, and that's when like the athletes and stuff were like, "Oh, you guys are like winning at this game. I want to win at the game. Like, how do
Yeah.
I?"
So what you do Yu-Gi-Oh at the lunchroom, and then you like take it to the mall and do it at the mall.
Not so much. We started doing it in the mornings. Like we would get
Okay.
to school early to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we
Nice.
would also do it at lunch. So yeah, after school was still reserved for like cool things, right? Like sports or I
you
played
ever-
sports in high school because I came from a family where that was like what you did, but it's just not for me. Like I'm just not good at it. I just don't like it. It's not
Nah.
fun to me. I don't care about winning that much. I'm not that competitive.
No.
I don't care about winning at a game because it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You got to get into that, like, or else you're just
Yeah.
not gonna want to do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, what do I get if I win? Like, at least when you play, maybe video games and anime did this to me, but it's like when you play Pokemon, after you win a battle, you gain some experience and you get some money, right? But after you win a football game in high school, it's like, oh, good job. Here's
Yeah. I just got CTE. Like,
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Here's permanent brain
Yeah,
damage.
here's
It's
permanent
like, no,
brain
this
damage.
sucks. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think about it to this day. My brother had a kid that he played with in like pee-wee football. Like he was like 12 years old. He got hit so hard, he got a concussion, but they had to put tubes in his ear to like drain the fluid out of his fucking brain. And you're like,
Whoa.
for what, dude? For
Why?
12-year-old pee-wee
Yeah.
football?
Why? So your dad will hug you?
Yeah, where's that kid at now? Like, where's
Damn.
that guy at now?
Yeah.
Like, there's no telling. And it was like that,
Yeah.
dude. It was like so his dad would hug him. He hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah.
My dad was
That's
not
what it always
like that
is.
at all.
Well, my dad wasn't going to hug me either way.
Yeah.
But he was such a great athlete. He went to Georgia Tech on a full track scholarship that, like, I feel like me and my brother kind of felt like we had to do this in order to, like,
Yeah.
live up to whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in order to get that hug.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you realize they're not gonna hug you either way.
How weird is that though? Like, I think back on the adults that like gave a fuck that much about kids' sports. You're like, dude, what?
They
Out there
had
screaming and
something-
yelling. You're
Well, it's like those are the people who are most caught up in this like DraftKings, everybody can gamble all the time. Those are just there's some people are hyper competitive and they don't actually compete themselves.
I
So
like
as
thinking
soon as a
about
little
Living
bit of
vicariously, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the thought of them.
yeah,
Betting on the game.
they're definitely
on
betting,
T-ball.
bro. You think the same dad that's got a beer in a bag is betting on the game? That's the bookie.
sure.
That's the
That's
bookie,
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the bookie because I don't
Yeah.
care about winning. So
bro.
I'm
You'll
just
make a
taking it
bunch
off
of
the
money,
top.
I bet.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, we had a friend of ours' dad pass out in spaghetti at the banquet.
Can
I
we
don't
come
like to
break
gamble.
people's legs if they don't pay you, Billy?
I don't like to gamble myself because I don't like feeling like somebody else is like pulling one over on me.
Yeah.
Like-
I don't like it. Takes all the fun out of sports.
I don't wanna-
Gambling sucks. I don't like that feeling. That's why I only watch Uncut Gems once. Like, I don't ever fucking have to watch this again. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
to gamble. I don't like feeling like this.
Yeah,
I like to gamble, but like gambling on sports sucks.
I like to gamble in Grand Theft Auto because I can't lose any real money.
Yeah, I don't like gambling right up until I lose. Like, it's like I played 3-card poker on a cruise and I went up and lost 3 times in a row. And it was like, I just gave
And
this
then
guy
you-
$65.
Yeah,
It
you
was
feel
that
like-
sucked.
You feel like
Like,
the house won over on you,
Yeah.
and the house never loses. So
No.
it's like, I don't know, just not for me.
No, I never got, but I've also never won a lot of money. So maybe that's what people are chasing. They're just chasing that high of like winning.
I used to submit to like sweepstakes that I would see on TV or cereal boxes and stuff because I realized that most people weren't submitting to them, and they would always send me stuff.
Really?
I got
What
like
did you
3
get?
or 4 backpacks.
No shit.
Wow.
I submitted to like a NASCAR one when I was a kid. I got like a bunch of NASCAR toys,
Whoa.
like maybe a jacket. I wanna
Yeah,
say.
dude,
Some,
you get a NASCAR jacket. You can
Yeah.
sell that to hipsters for $800.
I did a.
Oh, you
mo-
got an ugly mullet? Here's a NASCAR jacket.
I saw a monster sweepstakes on one of those mini monster fridges. It was like you can win a monster fridge, and I submitted to that. I didn't win the fridge, but they sent me a backpack. I was like, dude, not a lot of people are submitting to these things.
Yeah.
Just you. We can't let him know he won yet. Just sit in the backpack. Just sit in the backpack.
Send in the backpack, and we don't have the fridge. All right.
Yeah, I wonder what the logistics of that is. The mail-in sweepstakes. Jesus.
A lot of them were scams.
I would
where-
imagine.
like tax evasion and money laundering
Yeah.
type.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you're like, yeah,
But
that
aren't-
was definitely money laundering.
I saw one where
But
like
aren't most profitable businesses in America?
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's the
everything's a
blueprint.
scam.
I think that's
yeah.
if you're doing it right. I think you're an idiot. It's like when you watch it, you're like, oh, no one's paying taxes.
That's how you succeed.
Oh, these guys in charge, none of them pay taxes. That's
Yeah.
for poor people.
Yeah.
That makes me smart. That's what Trump said.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't pay your taxes. That makes me smart.
That's such a good
That's
answer.
That's the thing though. Getting away with not paying your taxes makes you smart.
All right.
not
I'm
wrong.
sorry, but I gotta get out of here.
All right, man. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming on. No, that was a good one. Thank you.
Peace, y'all.
Later.